What's up, guys? Been a while actually since I've had a YouTube video up, and I do apologize. Sometimes life gets in the way, and recently I had a job opportunity come up, and I have been unemployed for a little while, which is why I was able to get so much work done on the car every day. But anyways, I jumped on this opportunity, and I've pretty much just been going back and forth. I went for the walk around, um, fill out the application and all that. And After some bargaining, the company agreed to take me in. So that's good. But I had to go take the drug test and do all that stuff. So work on the car has kind of been where I could fit it in, and I just did not have time to make videos and that. But anyways, looks a little different than the last video I made. That's because the frame rails are now completely done. You can see it's all primered. I've got the sheet metal work kind of filling in areas, and the crossmember. I'm currently in the stages of modifying the crossmember now to fit the rack to go onto the oil pan and that. You can see here. Take the camera over. I had to build this brace assembly down here. I pretty much added a piece of 1/8 inch steel up against the area here. Another piece of 1 inch by 3 inch box steel down here, and a piece of 1 inch by 3 inch box steel there. And that's because I had to cut this whole top section off the front of the crossmember in order to kind of wedge the the rack down in between. The front control arm is going to mount right here, and I knew that when I cut this metal was going to want to flex one way or the other, and it did. So what I did was I added this piece and this piece first, and this piece actually, I don't know if you can see that, is welded to the front section as well. And once I saw how much it flexed, I had a brace that attached the control arm to these two mounting points so that it held the control arm exactly where it was supposed to be. And by measuring the front control arm to the mounting hole here, I pretty much just took a crowbar and kind of bent the front mount back where it was supposed to be, and then welded in this piece to keep it all nice and square. So now I know that it's exactly where it's supposed to be again, and I can start getting the rack mounts and that made. Right now I just kind of have the rack sitting in there on a couple pieces of metal, but it is where it's going to fit. Got it under the oil pan, and the next step is going to be to build those rack mounts. But anyways, frame rails came out nice. Like I said, they're completely done. Kind of starting to look like a legitimate assembly now, instead of just some metal boxed in between my frame rails. And that's where I'm at. So hopefully by the end of this video, I will have the rack mounted for good, and I can start kind of filling in all the open, empty areas on the crossmember with metal again and make that look whole. So anyways, I'm going to get to work, and I will report back when I get some work done. Alright guys, I've got the steering rack completely fabricated in. Crossmember's all modified, and it's starting to look like a suspension. You can see it's bolted in at the moment. Everything clears nice. I still need to adjust for bump steer, because since I had to lower the rack, I'm getting a bit of movement in and out as the suspension travels, but I'm going to compensate for that with a bump steer kit and drop the outer tie rod down a little bit, and that should correct for most of it. But as you can see, it's in. I'll bring the camera over and show you guys a little about what's going on here. So you can see there's the rack, and if I go under here, hopefully you can see the clearance there. Fits under the oil pan now. I had to modify the vet crossmember pretty heavily. You can see kind of where I added some pieces of box steel there and reinforced it. I still have to build the front control arm mount, since I had to chop that off and fit the rack between where that used to go. Give you the underneath view quick here. So there it is. It fits. And I don't know if you can see in the video, but there's more room on this side of the engine between the rack than on that side. For some reason, my engine, ever since I put the BMR member in, it always sat with a little bit of a tilt towards the passenger side. I'm going to correct that when I make the motor mounts and get the engine nice and straight. But the rack is perfectly level. It's just that the oil pan on the whole motor is not level with the rest of the car. But yeah, you can see the whole crossmember is modified. It's all boxed in the front. I fabricated rack mounts. Everything fits real nicely. And we are definitely in good shape. Head back up here. And I've got the steering shaft connected to the wheel right now. Clearance, I don't know if you can see that. Clearance is a little close to the A-arm, but hey, it doesn't hit. And neither of those pieces are going to move, so it should be good. This is actually an Astro van steering shaft, and what I did was I took the U-joint apart down there and put the Corvette end on it so that it'll fit on the rack. I'm not sure if I'm happy with it, because I had to disassemble the U-joint, and they're not meant to come apart. And when I put it back together, I couldn't get the caps to stay in, because from the factory, you can probably see right on the black piece there, they're dimpled. And that's what holds the U-joint cap on. And I couldn't get those dimples back because the metal kept wanting to kind of flake off. So I just zapped it with a couple weld tacks. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm happy with it. I might end up getting just a universal steering shaft from Flaming River or something and putting the correct ends on it. But yeah, everything fits nice. I mean, you can see the rack down there. I've got my line ports right in line with where they should be. So, like I said, it is looking like a suspension. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up. So, I will try to get a video up within the next week or two for you guys once I get some more work done on the car. Hopefully I can work on it enough to make a video worth updating with my new job and that. But stay tuned, and thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you later.